Did you watch Tyler's crash out? Yeah, I think he had some good points, but I think he was wrong on some stuff, and I would have also liked to see him play more clips from people that were backing him and weren't just running. Because I know there was a lot of people, myself included, that didn't just run. And I think if you're going to crash out like that, which is fine, as I said, he has a bunch of good points. At least show the the other side, because there were people that put their lives on the line for him, right? I think Tyler wasn't capable of empathizing with the people who genuinely freaked out, not roaching out. I mean, people were scared, right? They were, and they weren't only thinking about him by any means, but there's not everyone was the same, right? Some people literally just ran to fucking Africa, even as a melee deeps, right? And then other people were like intercepting back into the boss, right? And then there's everything in between. Tyler had buttons to press to live. Okay, so again, that's not what it's about. The core was bad. Tyler had buttons to live. Every single fucking player in that raid could have done something. Pretty much every DPS player there could have done something to kill that boss so that nobody would have died. DPS was the wrong fucking spec. PS was the right spec, the boss dies. Right? Z got a frostbolt resist and blinked away because he saw the bomb, right? He could have maybe gone for another frostbolt. I had PI. I didn't use PI. If I'd used PI on a lock or Z or something early on in the boss, that might have made the 3k damage difference, you know? Like, people ran early. The boss was dying super fast, and people ran as soon as it started AOing. If they'd have tanked 1 or 2 ticks each, it would have died, right? If the call was to go out, then no one would have died in the first place. It wouldn't have mattered, right? There was a hunter that was standing AFK for 20 seconds. I'm not saying Z would have soloed the boss. What I'm saying is that everyone could have done something better. To go and say, oh, hey, like, T1 could have done this, T1 could have that. T1 could have walled, yeah. T1 could have last standard, yeah. T1 could have done fucking 1% more damage, yeah, probably. T1 could have moved the boss further back, sure. Right? Armpy could have fucking execute instead of going D stance, sure. Ozzy got a fucking execute dodge or whatever, right as he runs out. The call is, it's not about whether the call was good or not. To go and say, okay, this person did this thing wrong, or he would have lived, like, sure. But you can conversely say that about basically everyone in the raid, right? I could have shielded T1 and he would have lived. Instead, I shielded Waz and he died to bomb, right? It's not about, oh, let's shift blame onto someone else. They could have done this to live. They could have done that to live. Everyone could have fucking done something to live. It wasn't about that. That's not why he was crashing out. But the whole point of doing the raid in the first place and having him raid lead in the first place as an inexperienced player was to create situations like that. That's that's almost the entire point of the fucking guild, right? That's why they're not taking 40 sweats. Who cares about watching 40 sweats clear MC in 1 hour with no deaths? Been done a million fucking times. Who cares? Who gives a shit? No one. It's not about that. That's not why the guild is existing, right? That's not why the guild is getting content and viewership, right? It's about new players playing WoW for the first time, doing dumb shit, getting into sketchy situations, and people having to figure it out and deal with it. And some people are going to die, right? And the reason T1 was pissed off is because the whole point of him raid leading was to make stupid fucking calls, like the one he did. Not intentionally, but it was stupid, right? It was a stupid fucking call, right? And the whole point of the guild is for people to follow those stupid fucking calls. And the reason that he was pissed off is like, why is he even bothering to play it in the first place when people don't follow the stupid fucking call? No one's claiming the call was good. That's not the point. That's irrelevant. No one's saying that he didn't make mistakes. Like, if the boss was 15, 20%, whatever, and then he called to stay in, sure, I get it. But the boss was dying. The boss would have died within 1 or 2 ticks if people had stayed in and just killed it. And there were a lot of people that stayed in. If more people had stayed in, it would have died. Sure. Was the call bad? If you make that call on non-hardcore, everyone stays in, no one bats an eyelid, right? But it's because it was hardcore that people were scared. But the point is, you know, once people have run out, right? Once they've run out, and this, to be fair, only applies to melee. I don't know why the fuck casters were running, or hunters, or any of that shit. It really only, at the end of the day, applies to the melee, right? Because the melee are the ones tanking the Inferno, the AoE. You could see it, right? Some of the melee went back in, and some didn't, right? And the decision that you have to make once you've run out, you see the mechanic and you run out. That's standard, okay? Then T1 calls to go back in, and the boss is on like 2% health. The boss, he says, stay and kill it, fuck it, whatever. I don't know the exact timing of it. And then it's basically on the melee to say, okay, do I think the other melee are going to follow this call? and do the same and try and kill the boss with us. If they do, the boss will die, everything's fine. If they don't, I've just gone into certain death, right? And that is the split second decision they were all making, right? That's what it comes down to. So do I think Tyler overreacted? Yeah, probably, because of what someone said earlier, right? He didn't really empathize with the decision that people were being forced to make, right? Like, he does have a point. If he's going to make a call and people don't follow it, what's the point to begin with? As I said, I don't think everything he said was right, but I also don't think everything he said was wrong either. And when people come out and are like, well, yeah, you should have walled. Oh, yeah, well, you should have fucking last standard. Like, again, it wasn't about him losing his character. That's not why he was pissed off, right? I'm not saying that he was right about everything, but I'm just saying that, like, if you think that he's pissed off because, like, some people did some misplay, like, you're just misjudging him as a player, as a person, right? That's not why he was annoyed. He literally didn't give a shit that our hunter was AFK, standing there AFK for 20 seconds, not autoing, right? Because it's a new player. Like, okay, people fuck up, right? It's probably their first time in the raid. They've never seen this shit before. They're new to the game, and they're doing fucking raid on hardcore, right? And everything's going up shit creek. Everyone's screaming, stressing. Of course, they can make a mistake, right? It happens. The thing that he was pissed off about was everyone just roaching out after that. I don't know why there was melee, why there was casters and hunters running. I have no idea. Look at Wazpov. Yeah, Wazpov, Mirpov, both fucking owning. Gordon Pov owning. Hubert, pretty solid as well. Do I think he overreacted? Yeah, I think he overreacted a little bit, but I can see where he's coming from. Is, I guess, my take on it. But I just don't think it's as black and white as what he's making out. I think every single player there had a different... I fucking use cologne again. What's wrong with me? I think every single player there had a slightly different situation and a slightly different decision to make. And I don't think that as a guild we were at the point of, yes, we blindly follow T1 to our fucking deaths no matter what, right? Like, we just weren't there yet as a guild. I don't know if we ever should have been, but I think that was what he was expecting as a raid leader, and was disappointed when that wasn't how it panned out. Can't imagine being a new player on hardcore. I'd shit my pants. It's mad, dude. It's actually mental, because, like, a lot of the time I'm not stressing because I kind of know what the limits of my class are, what I can take. I know I've bolstered up my HP a lot so that I can react to stuff. I know what stuff's gonna do. I know most of how the situations play out, all that shit, right? As a new player, it's all unknown stuff, right? You're basically just venturing into the fucking darkness and hoping you don't find a ghost. Like, you know? You don't know what's coming a lot of the time. And then you're suddenly asked to react to some unknown that shows up on a class that you're not that familiar with, not that experienced on. Like, it's definitely fucking scary. I mean, I don't think that Z deserved the level of rage he got by any means. I think that obviously Z has like bantered and shit with him in the past, and been sort of outspoken with stuff, so it makes him an easier target to crash out on as a result of that. But in terms of, like, Z's gameplay in the clip, I don't think it was anywhere near as bad as, like, probably at least 35 other people in the raid played worse than he did there, I would say. Like, he's bolting. His dam was kind of low on the boss. I don't know specifically why. He probably just got a few resists, and is running tankier gear, which I appreciate. I know he got a couple of resists in the clip at the end, but, like, he's blocking ignite mana. His positioning is good. He's not taking unnecessary damage. I think the one thing I would criticize is the blink, but he's obviously dodging the bomb. So, I mean, Mankos got crit by the bomb and died, right? I think in terms, if you go and watch Z's POV, he's playing the game up until basically the last moment, right? He gets a resist on a bolt. He cancels a bolt and blinks out of a bomb, right? And I just don't think that he deserves to be crucified for that. I think that's 100% like crash out momentum talking there. As I said, Mankos tanked the bomb and died. I don't know how much HP Z had, but I don't know if that could have happened to him too. But yeah, as I said, everyone could have done stuff better. I don't think that Z deserves the flame that he got. At the end of the day, to be honest, Z probably gained from it, if anything. Gets his name more on the map. All publicity is good publicity. Czar played it very scared. Like, I love Czar, but the clip doesn't look great from his bomb. I mean, I said it in the moment. Czar's already died to some fire mobs one time, so you know what? If he's got a little bit of, you know, fire mob trauma, I can't judge him for that. You know what I mean? Can't judge him. Look at that yeah, he's got that Searing Ghoul PTSD. But yeah, I could have shielded Tyler, man. I could have shielded Tyler and he would have lived. So I can't go around criticizing all the other players. I did mistakes as well. I didn't PI. I could have shielded Tyler. It is what it is, you know. As I said, I don't think the crash out was I don't think everything he said by any means was right, but I don't think everything he said was wrong either. Like, we're a content guild. We've got a new player raid leading. The sweats aren't supposed to be able to talk, and the whole idea of it is that they follow the calls, even if it means they know they're gonna die. That's just the entire point of the raid, right? So the fact that that is getting what's it called, like, invalidated or whatever, is like, why are we doing this in the first place, kind of thing, you know.